Manchester United beat 3-1 by Arsenal. Clinical Arsenal on the day. They move into fourth spot on 60 points. Man United, we knew the top four race was over, but it is signed, it is sealed, it is delivered. United have finished out here now. And look, Arsenal deserve it. And I'm sure we're going to go through everything that transpired in the game. A thunderbolt from Granit Xhaka gave the Gooners the win they needed. Saka excellent until his injury, and of course Tavares stepping up and getting the goal to open things up after 2 minutes. More calamitous defending, and Man United went out of this game. Man United had large parts of the game where the approach play was better than Arsenal's. We created chances. We had a penalty. The low was in on goal. It was a very close offside that went against us. There were some refereeing decisions that people will say went against us, but we were poor, and we were poor from the point of view of this. We had the chances and we didn't seize upon them. We lacked the clinical edge. All the approach play, all the cutting people open, that for me is it's part of the game. And I understand it looks good, but if you're not finishing your dinner, if that ball doesn't end up in the back of the net, it's a lingerie shop without windows. It's pointless. There's absolutely zero need for it. Imagine Ann Summers with no windows. You can't see anything. You're not going to go in. We all like a stare, don't we? Imagine a lingerie shop with no windows. That's Man United today. And I'm taking nothing away from Arsenal. Arsenal deserve it. Arsenal deserve to win. They were the better team. Do you know why they were the better team? Because when they got their chances, they took them. I haven't even looked at the stats in terms of shots on target. I would say it's pretty even. If not Man United, slightly more. That's the eye test they're working. But United absolutely shocking, really, in the end. Shocking, really, in the end. And it's another... it just end the season now. End the damn season now. Declare. Move on. Do something different. Bruno Fernandes, waster today. Put the ball in the back of the net. Make it 2-2. He also missed a chance because he delayed his shot and let Gabriel get a block in. He had 2 chances to score easy goals today, and he missed them both. Alex Telles, listen, we got fooled by this guy because of his Mr. Whippy crosses. No athleticism whatsoever. Snake hips, fucking snail hips. Nothing. He's a waste man. Fuming at this team again today. Today was different from the last 2 defeats where we had opportunities to score. But we didn't have opportunities. We weren't in the game. We did today, and we fluffed our lines. And do you want to know what we broke today? 41. You think I am old? 41 years since we've lost 4 away league games on the bounce. 41 years! 41! Do you know how many years that is? It's 4 decades and a little bit. 4 decades. Fergie weren't even our manager then. And as I say, I'm taking nothing away from Arsenal. They're going to get their praise. We're going to be speaking about them today as well. We're going to take your calls also. But just embarrassing again from us as a club. Missing good opportunities, not seizing the day when it's presented to us. Gary Neville was right. We're broken. Ralph Rangnick was right. This club lacks fight. This club lacks belief. And look, Arsenal deserve it. They were the better team on the day. I don't care about the approach, but I've been tweeted, oh, you're wrong, Terry. It's the best I've seen us play in ages. No. If you're not scoring the chances, it ain't great. Football is about winning. And if you've had the chances and you haven't taken them, it's not a good performance. Look, I'm joined today in the studio. I want to say welcome to Cam, by the way, all the way from Canada. I've got my boy Kesh here with me as well in the studio. Gents, what did you make of the game, boys?
Oh, I mean... So this is the thing, and I'm going to say it off the jump, and I won't talk about it again. 2 things can be true. The reffing was shocking, and we didn't take our chances. So it's 2 things. Like, those 2 things, I'm not blaming refs. We lost because we lost on merit, but the reffing was shocking. I'm sorry. Like, I can't, for the life of me, understand how Alanga's wasn't a penalty, but then we saw multiple fouls afterwards that were very similar, that were fouls. Just because it's in the box doesn't mean it's not a penalty. So that killed me. To really drive into our defense, like, that's a joke. That first goal, you have I'm sorry. Everybody who says Varane's been a positive, like, can we keep it? Can we keep it 100? Can we keep it 100 here? Like, Varane has not been a positive. He's not been. He's not. Like, yes, you want him to be. You want to beat Maguire with a stick, but 3 minutes in, we literally allowed to go 3 minutes in with Maguire on the bench. So who's the problem? Our defense was shocking. It's funny because at no point did I think that the football was quality from both sides. I thought it was two average teams that were just opening each other up, attacking. That's why it was exciting. I don't think it was like you saw quality football on both sides. Like, it was a fun game.
Yeah.
But man, we suck. Like
it was the mid-off that a lot of us expected it to be. You know, Arsenal weren't scintillating in every aspect of the game. You know, I mean, the amount of mistakes I know he scored, but Tavares made, there was opportunities for us. He wasn't. But when they got those chances, they were clinical, and that's where we lacked today. Kesh, from your point of view, bro, like, what did you make of it?
You know what? I think Man United's approach to the game was actually good.
Bro, do the favor, move that mic right. Yeah, just drag it across right. Yeah, big up.
Yeah, I think Man United's approach to the game was actually good. I think he was the better team in terms of the pattern of play and things like that. But you lack that clinical edge. I think with Arsenal, like, you know, you're always gonna have a chance in the game when you've got the likes of Saka playing. And I feel like your defense kind of let you down. I think people need to actually get off Maguire's back. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Maguire, but you lot are cutting way too much slack when he talk about Varane and guys like that. Maguire is not a bad defender. He's not a bad defender. I think you do ask him to do a lot too much than what he should be doing. But Man United as a defensive unit, you're not the shit.
No, we're not. And at the end of the day, Saka tore Telles apart. Like, every single time Saka was on the ball, we both were like, you were like, go at him, and I was like, it's a wrap. Like, I thought every time Saka touched the ball, I thought that the chance was going to be created, which, in all fairness, shouldn't happen. Like, we shouldn't have that bad of a left back. We shouldn't have that bad of a right back. Like, at no point did I feel comfortable with our defense. It was terrible.
Yeah,
terrible.
The thing with Maguire is, as you pointed out, he has been poor and he's been making mistakes. But Ralph Rangnick came out last night and said it. Like, listen to the man's words. No one man is fixing this club. No one man is the problem. There's no one element of Man United that is the reason we are where we are. And I see Neeks backstage, and me and him have been the only two Man United fans consistently for 6+ years talking about this online. We've had it with Pogba, Bruno. Bruno was poor today. But I've seen games where we've dropped Bruno, we've been poor. Oh, we've got to get Pogba back in. Pogba comes in, we're poor. You drop Maguire, we're poor. Rashford's been sitting on the bench for the majority of games since Ralph's been here. We're still poor. This isn't about individual players. It's the club lacking belief, lacking confidence. And I suppose I'm just at this point now where I'm like, the season for us, I just need it over. Like, I think we've got 4 games left. I would not feel embarrassed if we wrote a letter to the Premier League and just conceded 3-0 defeats in all of them. Give the points away, give the goals away. I don't want to see this team play again. So I don't want to see him play again.
Out of Europe for you? You want us to be out of Europe? Or?
Mate, listen, winning. I'm going to sound arrogant here. If we're in the Conference League under Ten Hag, we might win it, but I don't care. For me, I just feel like it's a nothing trophy.
So for me, this is the thing for me. I want us to be in the Conference League, and I've said this, and I'm going to say I tweeted it out, and I think this is an important thing for us. The reason I want to be in the Conference League is because if Erik ten Hag is the manager, everybody's saying he is, right? He develops youth. He's a great coach. He's going to bring in a philosophy. He's going to do that through the academy and up. That's the perfect place to play your youth. Play your youth in that league. Yeah. Let them learn how Ten Hag wants to play, and that's the only way we're going to find these gems. That's it. That's why I want to be in it. I don't want to win it. I don't care.
In that sense, I completely understand it. It's a platform and it's a foundation to get the youth in, find out who's actually good enough to actually come into the Man United 11 or squad and actually show their worth. But in the sense of like the competition itself, for me, it's just friendly games.
Yeah. I think both of you make good points on there for United. It could be a good way of developing and moving things forward. But I'm so jaded. I knew today was going to happen the way it happened. And like me and Jess, obviously, we're in straight facts. I know you're watching Kesh because you were laughing. Like, we obviously did straight facts, and there was elements of the game that were close, but everything that happened on the field of play today is what I knew was going to happen. We'd be in it at times because Arsenal were not the finished article yet. You're not Liverpool.
Yeah, we're not.
You didn't score after 2 minutes against us and then kill the game off and put us to the sword. We had opportunities and chances. We're just done. And Bruno's a standout example here. we know how good he can be, but that guy's confidence is shot to bits. Everything about it. And I know certain United fans will get on at him because obviously Pogba's in the mud. Pogba's moving on. It's like, right, I've got to keep having a go now at Bruno because I've got to keep this conversation going on. And it's why I need the season over. On Arsenal, I just have to say this about them. 3 defeats on the bounce, 4 in 5 games as it was. They went into the back-to-back games against Chelsea and Man United and needed a response. And fair play to Arsenal because at the end of the day, the confidence was drained from them after those defeats and they've bounced back. And what I see with your players is this. Whether or not people think Arteta is going to have the ability to take you to the highest level or not, they are still playing for him. They're not doing what we've seen from Man United in recent weeks where they're kind of downing tools. They're not on the beach already. They're not looking to pass blame onto anyone. They're stepping up and they're making themselves be counted. And you've got to give credit to that, even as much as it pains me. And there was refereeing decisions in this game today that annoyed me. But I got to the point in the end where, again, I'm not going to focus on them because we had our opportunities to get back in this game and we fluffed them. We scored that penalty. If Delot scores his chance or he squares it, Bruno misses that almost an open goal. The game is very, very different indeed. And that's only on us. And I know Gabriel makes the tackle. I know the goalkeeper makes a save. But I expect our players to be able to deliver from there and score. We have some super chats here. First one says, a missed penalty and a missed touch sums up Bruno's season. I think it sums up Man United's season, if I'm being honest with you there, Xander. Where's Z? I don't know where Z is. I don't know where Z is, people. I don't even know if I shared the link with those guys today. I was too busy drinking Jamesons and beers with these boys, to be fair. So cheers, by the way, and welcome to trip over. Listen, it's a bad day, but say cheers anyway. Bruno is finished. New deal is a mistake. His deal ended in 2025. United fans need to stop overhyping limited players. Maguire, Rashford, Bruno, AWB.
I disagree with the Bruno one. Like, listen, he's like, people forget real quick. Without Bruno, we don't make the Champions League the last 2 years. At the end of the day, like, Erik ten Hag clearly knew that Bruno was getting that contract, and he clearly was okay with it. Let's be honest. He's not going to take the job if we're about to hand out that money. I'll say this now. Bruno's probably our captain next year under Erik ten Hag. So people saying he shouldn't have been, like, that's just hate on Bruno for nothing. He's having a poor season, but the whole team it's seeping in there. It's kind of a disease you can see right now. The confidence and the player who's been the most confident player we saw today, him missing that penalty, him taking an extra step, like an extra touch. Bruno doesn't do that stuff. So let's leave.
I get the tweet, but Champions League Varane, Paul Pogba, Cristiano Ronaldo, Jadon Sancho. I'm naming those 4 players because they're looked at as technically or brilliant players. Ronaldo, a GOAT. They have been equally as inconsistent and had as equally many poor games. I'm listening to Ralph Ragnick. This isn't about one player. This isn't about so-and-so being finished. This is just about the club being rotten and broken, and it needs fixing. And a bit of confidence in these players, and we can win. Listen, Arsenal deserved the win today. They really, I just realized your jumpers are basically the London Underground Central Line. See, I swear I've seen that pattern before. Look at the screen. That's a fucking Central Line seat. But yeah, like look, this team has got good players in it. I'm not prepared to write them off just yet personally, so I agree. United fans need to be realistic. Europa team now is what Moving On Up says. United will be a Europa Conference team for decades, is what's being said here.
That's a bit far.
That's fine. It's banter. A little bit of banter. It's fine.
United get pumped and Toronto are losing in 4 today. Bad day for you, my guy. 6s in 4. Saka is a cheat, is what Steve said. Oh, see, Steve's a Chelsea fan. He's going to call Saka a cheat there.
That hurts.
Terry has been desperately trying to set Arsenal up for failure this whole week. What a clown, both the fans and club. But it's not. Everything that's happened today is what I said would happen. I was right.
Can I say I really enjoy when people hate and insult you?
It's just pressure. Well, for me, it's just pressure from the rival fans. I don't think he's setting us up. I think what he is, he's holding us to the standards that he thinks Arsenal should be at.
Bro, but honestly, if we were playing decent football, I would never have said that it would be embarrassing for you to drop points to us today. It's just a madness.
And I'll be completely being here with Terry. Terry like called basically what was happening when we were ascending. He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna lose 3-1. Like we're gonna like all these things he's called. It wasn't like setting it up. He just didn't believe in us."
I just know ball. I'm just the guy. No, I'm messing. Bruno has been missing easy chances all season. No Maguire, same poor defense. Exactly.
Correct.
And lots of people admit, listen, today reminded me of the Watford game or the Villa game where we were in the match and we had the opportunity to win or at least get back into it and draw, and we fluffed our lines. So this has been happening regularly for Man United this season, and it's a confidence thing. Now, I want to go we're going to take some calls now. We've got Gunnar Souls, we've got KJ, we've got Neeks, we've got Colleen, we've got Mo, we've got Brandon, all backstage ready to have their say. Jessica Black is going to be on with us now to come on. I was making sure I got the right background up to make this work. Hit the like and share button, people. Let's do this.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. I'm not going to say congratulations, but well done. Well done on winning, Jay. Well done.
Yeah. Hi, Cam. Nice to
Hi,
see
Jess.
you.
Nice to see you.
Hey.
I'm happy.
Hope you had a.
Catch was
I know. I'm
Kesh was
happy
quite good.
that you got your
Kesh
trip
was
over.
quite good. Kesh was quite good, to be fair. He was quite good.
he
He was quite good.
Yeah, but I feel like this is the first game this season where I truly feel like we got away with it, and I'm okay with that. Like, you need a little bit of luck, right? If Ronaldo takes that penalty or Bruno, puts it away, then the game is completely different. And so we needed a little bit of luck. This isn't our sparkling best. We're frail in the back, like I haven't seen in a long time, but we scraped by and we did what we needed to do. We had chances and we put them away. And players that a lot of us had written off, the El Nenis, the Granit Xhakas, Rob Holdings, have stepped up in our time of need. Like when we don't have Thomas Partey, when we don't have Tierney, when we're losing these key players that we really need. And yeah, Nuno is, I've never seen a player like that before. Like I've never seen it, but he's trying his hardest, and that's all you can really ask for. And this is the truth about the top four races, that all the teams are incomplete. They're all inconsistent. It's just a matter of who gets the luck, who puts their chances away, and who can be the most together until the end of the season. We'll all have conversations around who's improved and who needs this and who needs that, and really get the microscope out. But right now it's about getting 3 points. And the difference between Manchester United pushing on and potentially getting something out of this game and us pushing on and actually getting the 3 points is the togetherness of our squad.
Yep.
Which is it's the difference. It really was. I mean, we had players out there that weren't really playing well, but you could tell that Xhaka, El Neni, Saka were willing to kind of carry them through this match. And we carried some bodies. Like, that is definitely true. So I think in the end of the day, like, people don't like to talk about soft factors because they just want to talk about talent and tech and how much the players cost. But if your players are not together, you're not going to do anything. And so those are the fine margins, and we got them because of our spirit and a little bit of luck. And I do think in parts of the match, we were the better team. The beginning of the second half, Man United definitely came onto this, but missing that penalty was really just amazing. Like, that really just turned the tide in our direction. And I loved every minute of it. I mean, we've had 2 chaotic games in the last 2. I mean, people must love watching us play because the team's just wide open, tons of goals. And so top 4 race is definitely on. I never thought I would say that, because after those 3 losses in the bounce, it seemed like it was just gone. So yeah, it just shows the togetherness. And Mikel Arteta did a good job today. He made the right substitutions at the right time. Hopefully Bukayo Saka is okay, because he's a key player. He was excellent today. He was really, really good. So hopefully he's ready to go.
No, I agree. I mean, there was a few controversial decisions in the game, and BT Sport are really looking at them now. And one of them was the handball, the Cedric handball in the first half. And I mean, when what was your? I mean, I know we missed the penalty in the second half, but do you feel that Man United, there was 2 penalties? There was that, and there was the pulling of Elanga when he was through on goal. Do you feel as though Arsenal, and I'm saying this because Arsenal fans have got a habit of saying there's a conspiracy theory against them. Do you feel like decisions went your way? Even the handball you gave away was, I mean, you can't not give that. But do you feel as if Arsenal got away with some decisions today as well? Like Lady Luck may have been more on your side than Man United's.
I think with Bruno missing the penalty, that's the only one I personally think is like we got away with it, because it was a handball on Nuno. But the pulling down, Elanga I thought was just too eager to go down, and there wasn't really enough contact for me for that to be a penalty. equally, like, if you guys are like, oh, she's just has an agenda, like she just is saying this because she's an Arsenal fan. I don't think Saka's foul against Chelsea, like that one was a penalty. So it's not like me just saying this, but Cedric, I think when you look at it, like you could say, oh, he handballed, they did it on purpose, but he was toppling over the ball. And I think that they just said like, oh, it was an accident, whatever. But I think the only time in the match where I felt like we got away with it was the penalty. And equally, you could have looked at maybe even Bruno Fernandes, his tackle. I think it was on Nuno. That could have easily been a red on another day. So I think
because on that
both
did it
teams.
later the exact same thing. So if you're gonna say Bruno's was a red,
Well,
then Elneny's
no,
a red.
no. If you go back and actually watch them in real time, Bruno was really late. Elneny was on time, and his foot just came down on the top of whoever that was foot. So again, both teams got away with things. The only thing that I think we actually got away with was the penalty that Bruno Fernandes missed.
Yeah, I kind of get that. I mean, do you know the only thing that annoyed me about I thought Bruno's could have been a red. I agree. What annoyed me about the commentary, and I don't know what everyone's watching different parts of the world, was how Bruno's was looked at as disgusting, and then Elneny's was like, "Oh, he's so unlucky. He nearly got the ball." It's almost like they were both poor. Like, just sometimes commentary just does my brain in when it comes to these things. They were both poor tackles, and it just depends what part of the leg stroke foot you hit. But
it was both.
yeah, they are. And look, I look at it this way. I think Man United had some bad luck today in that first half. I think we should have had a penalty. But then would we have scored it? I mean, we missed one in the second half. You don't know. And for me, Ronaldo should be taking those damn things and everything else. But Jay, listen, I really appreciate you coming on and having your say. And I know it's really early where you are. So get yourself some sleep and we'll speak to you soon.
All right, bye guys. Enjoy.
Take care. Bye.
She brought up about chemistry. We had 3 players touch the pitch today that are gone. Like they're not going to be part of the team next year. That's 3 players too much in my opinion. Matic, he put out an Instagram to tell the world, I'm out. Matic's not going to be there next year. Lingard's gone. Even though they came on late, I don't care. They touched the pitch and they're not going to be United players next year. That is when she's talking about chemistry.
They're not fighting for the team.
They don't as much as Matic will always fight for the badge, in my opinion. Why you can have 3 players even touch your pitch that aren't going to be there.
No, I agree. But you know what's ironic though? When I was coming on the terrace when we was going for a bad run, I said, listen, it comes a point in a player's career where they're at a club, it's stagnant, it's stale. They've lost the desire to be there, play for your badge. A lot of fans didn't really believe in what I was saying. And what you have to realize is that's like your everyday life. Even a normal person, not a footballer, you do a job, you get bored, you want to move. It happens.
Yeah. No,
that's where Man United is right now.
I agree. There's a comment. A lot of people saying Elneny touched the ball. Touching again. I don't want to be disrespectful to our viewers, but where have you been for the past 3 years? You can win the ball cleanly first, and then your follow through leads to a red card. Touching the ball first doesn't mean it can't be a poor foul. As we say, if Bruno doesn't hit the shin of the player and lands on the foot, it's the same thing. That's my point. Both were out of control after they went in for the ball. One just happened to clip the ball first. So they're both like that. And as I say, there's some poor decisions in both areas today, but Arsenal still deserved it, in my opinion. We're going to get some more calls on. We're going to get Igal on to have his say. Igal's on now. What you saying, bro?
Yo, Terry, I'm in the middle. I'm at the North Bank. Everyone's going crazy. We just beat you guys. I told you, I'm a good luck charm. Every time I come to the Emirates, I need to come here more often. We might go invincible again. You never know. Anyways, I'm joking, obviously. But yo, listen, that was a good win. But Bukayo Saka did his thing. Where he took that penalty. I thought all this stuff you're talking about, penalties and all this stuff about red cards, it doesn't matter. We won the game. Football is played on the pitch. These referees make calls. Sometimes these calls happen. Sometimes they don't happen. I'm not going to complain about it today. I felt like there could have been red cards on both sides. There could have been penalties on both sides. But guess what? If you would have got another penalty, you would have missed it again. Anyways,
Igal doesn't care about refereeing decisions, people. There you have
listen to me. I'm gassed. I told you, Terry, we're gonna win this game. Your team showed up for the first half. Second half, Arteta did a masterclass, changed it up, brought on Rob Holding, and we shut up shop.
In fairness to Gal, I told you had to beat us. You were better than us. You're acting like I said we were going to win. You had to win. You were better than us. deserved it in the end because we were clinical. There's no doubt about it. How confident are you now about making that top 4 after these 2 back-to-back wins?
You know what? Over to you, Tottenham. Over to you. That's all I got to say. Take it game by game. Let's see what they do now.
I get that. And by the way, Igal, this is, you know, when I said to you in the studio the other night, I need your energy. This is the Igal we love. Stop trying to be a professional pundit and be the Igal that we love. Listen, go and enjoy yourself with those Gooners, my guy, and we'll chat to you
Peace.
soon. Take care, mate. Take care. We said to him in the studio after the show the other night, we're like, why were you sitting there talking like you were on Mastermind or something? He's like, bro, like, show us. We want Igal on the football terrace. That's what we want. KJ still to come. Colleen still to come. Mo still to come. Neek Sports is with us now. I know he hates Arsenal, so he's going to be in pain right now. What are you saying, Neeks? I know he hates Arsenal. What are you saying, brother?
Yeah, but I hate Man United more right now. So listen, we are so bad. We're so bad that I think every Man United fan, I don't think there was a Man United fan that I'm aware of who went into this game thinking that we were going to win. Even, I don't know, Cam. Cam is very positive. I don't know what you thought.
I said it out loud that I thought we were going to win. I don't know if
there's always one. There's always one.
But I said it out loud. And yeah, we saw it happen.
But big up Cam, obviously out in the UK. Link up soon, innit? But for me, like, I don't like to make excuses. And if Man United had won this game, say it was roles reverse, most people would say, like what's happened this season, Man United got lucky because the other team maybe dominated the play or had, as Kesh mentioned, patterns of play, they created chances, missed the penalty, refereeing decisions. That's what most people would have said when Man United have won certain games this season. I'm not going to say that because, as you said, Terry, ultimately, when you miss the chances that we've missed, both from the penalty spot and from open play, when you defend in the way that we did from the first minute, like in that first goal, the only defender not at fault was Lindelof. It was Varane, then Telles, then Dalot. The only person not at fault in defense was Lindelof. When you defend like that and you attack in the way we did in terms of, or you're not clinical in the way we did, you don't deserve to win the games. I think it was an even game on the balance of play in terms of possession, shots, chances created. But let's find margins. Refereeing decisions went one way, didn't go the other, etc., etc. I'm not going to make no excuses. I don't think we're going to get top 4 anyway. Maybe it makes the top 4 race more exciting. You know, we've done a favor for the top 4 race to make Spurs have to go and win. I don't know, but I'm so. At one point, I thought, you know, maybe these players after the announcement of Ten Hag, the way we were playing was like, okay, maybe they're actually thinking I got to fight for my position. I got to prove something. But as the game went on and it went on a bit longer, and then when we missed that penalty, it's like they gave up. And usually this season at times we've given up much earlier. Like we went 1-0 down the 3rd minute. I'm surprised we came back in the way we did. But it's like when that penalty was missed and the Ronaldo goal was given offside, it's like they just thought, yeah, it's not our day. And it's like, no, we don't do that. We keep going. Even at 3-1, I was watching it with my brother, and he's like, in the Fergie days, at 3-1, you're like, man, I got a chance. You can still get, but today it's like, no chance. Yeah, once that as soon
as that 3rd goal went in, like me and Cam were kind of like, we're cheering our team on. We want to do it. As soon as it went in, the room went quiet. I just sat here for 15 minutes prepping the show because I'm like, we're done now. This team can't come back at all. Listen, Neeks, appreciate you coming on.
Sorry, let me just say quickly.
Go on.
Igal, I know you're not listening. Hopefully you watch this back. Someone clip it and send it to him. You don't complain about referees. Like, I don't want to hear Arsenal fans complain about referees being biased towards them ever again. And frankly, I don't want to hear any fan. Referees are good. Referees are bad. Referees make good decisions. Referee makes bad decisions. Over the course of the season, you finish where you finish based on your performance over 38 games. Because it's the same referees refereeing all the games throughout the course of the season. There's no excuse. There's no excuse.
Yeah.
They're all shit.
No, I hear that. I hear that. It is what it is. It is what it is. Listen, Neeks, top man, thanks for coming on, brother, and we'll speak to you soon, my guy. Enjoy your weekend.
That's up.
Cheers, thank you. The worst big thing about it as well is the 12:30 games. It's like for me, like, that's why I like both Dylan White and Tyson Fury. So at least someone I liked winning something today. Yeah. Like at least one of them is.
Terry, can I say one thing about this? The 12:30 game. At least it's not 7:30 a.m. for me.
Yeah, that's true, bro. Yeah. At least you can drink. At least you can drink for this. When we play good, I don't understand if our opponents are better or our standards for playing are too low. Feels like everyone turns up against us. That's because, do you know what it is? It's because I think people fancy their chances. If you listen to like players that played against peak Fergie sides, they will say that they often felt like they'd lost in the tunnel. They didn't have any belief they could win. Football is 85-90% mentality, belief, confidence. If you're confident, then your ability shines through. If you've got two teams that are confident, the team with the most ability wins. If you've got one team with ability for days but no confidence, they get beat by Burnley. And that's what Man United have been. It's simple as that for me. Should have got 2 more penalties. Arsenal got a soft pen and Xhaka's goal was offside. But will Arsenal fans cry about the conspiracy today?
Sorry, it's not offside.
Both teams were poor. We were a little bit lucky to win, but our youth and I don't know what that says, thinness of the squad will likely cost us top 4 unless Spurs go Spursy again. Baz says Bruno can't take pressure. Every time he takes penalties over Ronaldo, he misses. I'm going to say this about Bruno Fernandes. I see a lot of comments about Bruno, and clip me, do what you want. He will be back. Bruno Fernandes under Erik ten Hag will be back to his very, very best. He looks poor. He looks devoid of ideas. He looks a lack of confidence. But he didn't just have a good month, 3 months at Manchester United. He had a good first almost 2 years. Plus 2 years prior to that, what he was doing for club and country. He has gone through a bad period with the rest of the team.
One thing I want to talk about, sorry, my bad. That's
cool,
really important here. When Pogba kills it for his country, everybody's like, oh, but look at him for his country. Bruno just dragged Portugal to the World Cup. No one's saying, but look at what he does for his country. Like the agenda against Bruno sometimes absolutely kills me. And I love Baz. Baz is my boy.
I expect. Listen,
Baz is my boy.
No, and he needs to learn to take pressure. But I think he will with the right coaching. And this is my point. Right, I expect rivals to come for him because rivals, up until this bad run of form that he and the club's been on, rivals were scared to shit of Bruno Fernandes.
You know what
they are praying that he's finished.
You know
praying.
Bruno, like I think a lot of people look at him as he's this traditional number 10, and he's not. I think he's more. Him and Odegaard is very similar. They're very similar. I think they're goal scoring number 10s, but they're not this prolific guys that's going to give you control of games. They're not going to be the ones that's always the stand-up performer in the team. And I think you look towards them as, can you go and get that goal? Can you go and be the guy that saves the day? That's it for them. And fans need to actually lower their expectations of Bruno and actually understand what sort of player he is. I don't think he's a bad player. Like, he's definitely not a bad player. If you look at it when he first came to the Premier League and you see the things he was doing, you can understand what sort of player Bruno is.
Yeah, and it's about the structure being. Listen, all players need it, and listen, if Paul Pogba with his ability can't be consistent in this Man United team, if you think Bruno Fernandes isn't as technically as gifted, why are you more angry at a left technically gifted player than the guys that are meant to be world-class ballers? It's a madness to me. Bruno will be back, and I'm absolutely confident of that. KJ's coming on next. We've got Pav to come on, Mo, Brandon, Gunnar Souls, Colleen's with us, Young Tommy, and much, much more. KJ's here now, though. What are you saying, bro?
4 games left until we're free, boys. 4 games left until we're free. Come on. Come on. Yes. I'm sick of this season, man. Today was an absolute shambles as per usual. But you know what? I'll say this. Arsenal, they weren't great, but you don't have to be great against this Manchester United team. Like, you don't. You simply don't. So I don't want to hear any Arsenal fan here say, oh, we was amazing. We was great. I think true Arsenal fans, hand on heart, will say, boy, that was not our greatest performance, but we did what you needed to do to get done. That goal from Xhaka was an amazing strike, by the way. But Man United, I cannot wait for the season to end. Like, give me those 3-0 losses to the end of the season. I don't want to see us play again. And we just go again. Everyone go on holiday. Everyone go. Staff, everyone go, because this is an absolute shambles. And then let Ralph, Murtaugh, and Ten Hag start planning for the future. Because, boy, there's literally got nothing left. There is nothing left. People are telling me, oh, yeah, you can get a result. I'm just like, no, we can't. We are, when I said on Terry, you heard me say this, we are the worst football team in the league right now. We are. We are the worst
We
football
are
team
the
in
worst
league.
footballing team. We play pound for pound. We're the worst footballing team. There is no shadow of a doubt.
There's no shadow of doubt. So when
Straight up.
people are coming and saying, "Oh, my team was so sick against United today," bro, it ain't hard. Man had Norwich in our gaff, doing up tiki
Right,
taka.
do you know what it's like? Do you know what it's like, KJ? This is what it reminds me of. It's like being good against Man United is like those young men that go to a strip club and think that the pole dancer loves them.
They love me, though. They love me.
You love you.
Like,
Yeah, that's what I know you've not been there, KJ. Big up God and all that. But I'm just saying, right? Like at the end of the day, that's what it's like. It's like don't big yourself up for being better than this horrible Man United team. I hear that. I hear that 100%.
It's one of those ones where, like, going into next season now, we have to just, again, the overhype of players needs to stop. The play FCs need to stop. The gassing of Ten Hag. Like, we can be excited, but don't make out like he's the Messiah. There's much more to be done. Like, we talked about Bruno today. Why on earth he took that pen, I do not know. Like, stop. When you have Ronaldo on your team, who's the man that's been holding the pressure, holding the fort down for Manchester United, you give him the penalty. The last time we gave Bruno a pen to equalize a game, he flipping missed. So I don't see why he
wait, is
got
this
it
not
again.
the first he's missed?
No,
No,
he
against
missed
Villa.
Aston Villa early in the
too,
season.
game.
Last
Like,
minute,
But
yeah.
this is
Again,
Ronaldo
same-
being a good teammate. That's what it was. Because we know Ronaldo's
Yeah.
taking
I
that
don't, but the thing, I'm sorry, I don't care about being nicey teammate, but
Win
Ronnie,
the game.
win the game, bro. Win the
Yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah,
If
yeah.
we was wait, if we was 3-0 up or something like that, be nice, yeah, go on, Bruno, get some confidence. But when it's crunch time, I don't care about being a nice teammate. Win the flipping game. Do what
KJ,
you need to do.
Ronaldo's a gooner, man. He's a gooner.
You almost signed him, innit? You almost signed him. So that's
Almost.
what it
He
is.
paid for you today. Listen,
Yeah.
KJ, top man for coming on, having your say. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you. Brandon on the show next. I didn't see your private chat, mate. Very sorry. I just did now. How you doing, mate? Well done. Congratulations.
Yeah, not bad, Terry. Not bad. Happy with the result because at the end of the day, it's towards this end of the season. It's all about results. But am I going to sit here and say I'm happy with the performance? No. And any Arsenal fan that says otherwise is lying, because listen to what everybody's saying about Manchester United. This is a Manchester United team that's in disarray. This is a Manchester United team with players that are looking to leave, with players that have down tools. And a Bruno Fernandes penalty could have changed the game today. It didn't, but it could have changed the game today. More questions need to be asked of the recruitment system at Arsenal and Mikel Arteta, because our attacking play is actually pretty decent. And a lot of people will credit Mikel Arteta with improving the likes of Saka and Emil Smith-Rowe, even Nketiah to a degree as well. Yeah. But look at the areas in which Mikel Arteta and Edu and everybody else has spent money since he's been here. Now, that whole back line is an Edu and Mikel Arteta back line. And we've conceded more goals this season than what we did last season. At times, it was absolutely pathetic. How can you go 2-0 up, be absolutely cruising, and then just allow Manchester United to come back in the game when they're low on confidence? You got to kill that game off. And we was very, very, very lucky today. But the one thing that stand out more for me than anything else is Mohamed Elneny was arguably our best player on the pitch. This is a player that was signed under Arsene Wenger, 5-6 years ago, for 7 million quid. We've got all these young players that are gassed up to be the next best thing, but yet Elneny's our best player. Make sense of that, what you will. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's got to improve. It's got to improve. If we get Champions League football, then that's fair enough. I expected Arsenal to get in the top 4 this season. I said it at the very, very beginning of the season. That's what I expect. So if he achieves that, brilliant. I'm not going to sit here and complain too much. But there are so many improvements that need to be made. If we go into the Champions League with this team, or even with an extra 2 or 3 players to this team, we will get absolutely ruined. We will be out in the group stages.
But Brendan,
Arsenal fans, go on, Kesh, go on.
we know this team is not good enough for Champions League. Like, anyone with common sense, anyone with a perfect pair of eyes can see this team is not good enough for Champions League. Like, we're talking about Saka. Like, yes, I think Saka is on a trajectory to be a top quality player. Like, I'm talking world class. Yeah. But when you look at the finishing, he needs to improve that. And when you actually listen to Mikel Arteta, yes, we can say the recruitment's not been great, but I think you have to add in the the factors of why we're not getting our recruitment on point. When we've been in Europa League for the last 5 years, whatever, barring this season. So if you talk about top quality strikers, top quality wingers who's gonna grab the game by the scruff of the neck and be clutch for us, we've not been able to attract those players.
Yeah.
So what you need now is to attract the likes of Gabriel Jesus. I know a lot of people sleep on this guy. Like, you can sleep on him all you want, but if you look at the goal to game ratio, like, he's a top quality player.
Just score a goal.
And
Just good.
he literally, yeah, like, he literally plays off the bench. Like, he's not a player that Pep sees as his main talisman. So if you bring him into this team now, where you're saying, Gabriel Jesus, we're looking to you to start the game. You're looking to be the 38 game a season striker. That's where you add the quality. And that's where I look at the likes of Edu and I'm thinking, can you deliver this deal? Can you bring us over that mark where we're getting quality players? Like, if you look at him, yeah, he's a striker in his prime. He's literally 25 now. He's ripening. You know, when you look at a banana, yeah, and it's ripening, like, it's sweet, it's juicy, yeah. That's when you look at players like that and you think, yeah, that's the place we need to be getting across the line now.
But for me, Kesh, it's not even so much that. We all know we need a striker. We all know we need areas of improvement, midfield as well. I'm looking at the areas where we apparently have improved and we have spent money, like £50 million on Ben White, Gabriel even, you know. These are all players that have been brought in for a decent amount of money and we've not improved defensively. It's there in black and white. Do you know what I mean?
All right, cool. If you look at Ben White, that wasn't the main target. It was Tsobo. But when you're looking at the price that is being given, 80 mil for a centre back, we're not even in Champions League. So if you're looking to pay that sort of price, you've got to either say, you know what, we're not in Champions League. We're going to give you that money and we're going to just go YOLO it. We're going to YOLO it. You're going to live once. But we never did that. We went for Ben White, who's a player who's played in the Premier League. We know what we're going to get from him. I understand, yes, statistic-wise, yeah, the goals we've conceded is poor compared to last season. But you have to look at the sort of profile, the quality of what the player brings, and you have to hope that they grow. And listen, you have to what we need to look at now is the likes of Gabriel, the likes of Ben White. Not so much Nuno Tavares, because I think he's a bozo. Like, he's got bozo genes in it. But when you look at the likes of Gabriel and Ben White, you have to hope that they take this experience of what they've got from this season and bring it forward into next season, where they've learned from their mistakes. For instance, Ben White, let's not go to ground so much. Let's not be a stripper. Let's not be a bitch, because he's acting like a girl. Always going to the floor, always going on his knees. Let's not do that. Go into next season, be a man, yeah, stand up and be counted for. Gabriel, be more consistent. And hopefully you get a back two that's actually comfortable with each other and actually believe in each other. And there's one thing that we're lacking. There's not enough talking in this back line. There's not enough talking. If you look at the goal, there's leadership that's missing. Like, if you look at the goal that was conceded, that Ronaldo scored from, Tavares and Gabriel's not talking. Like, I play defense. You've got to be speaking to your fullback. Bro, drop off a yard. Pick up Ronaldo. Let me pick up this man. There's not enough talking. There was no talking there, and that's where we go wrong, and that's why we conceded that goal.
Yeah. Now, listen, I hear that, and Brendan, look, great call, mate. Good points being raised. I understand you want the standards still to go up at your football club, brother. Thank you very much for coming on and having your say. I really appreciate it, bro. And we'll speak soon. Top man. Thank you, Bren. And listen, he's entitled to his opinions there. Get yours in. We have another super chat here that says Rashford is going to Arsenal fans after the game, giving his shirt to them. Wow. I think he gave it to a child. And I'm going to be honest with you here. Like, giving your shirt to a child, I'm really not going to be angry at him for doing it. You know, I get the whole swapping shirts with like your opponents and smiling when you've been beaten in a big game is annoying, but giving it to a child, I'm not going to be angry at the man for doing that. Igel painting himself into a corner yet again with the ref's comment. A gal is a gal. He always does it to himself. We know that. Comment here says, I hear people complaining about McTominay. Do you realize him and Matic play different roles? One is the enforcer, the other is the ball progression. Look, we just know we need better midfielders. We absolutely know that as a football club, no doubt. Canadian Cam in the UK, I think he's gone to the toilet now. Fans trying hard to be pundits. Shut up and celebrate your win is what Daniel says. Arsenal fan here, not deluded. Arsenal very lucky. Yeah, I think there's an element of luck. But there we go. Look, we've got Gunnar Souls to come. We've got Mo to come. We've got Pav to come. We've got young Tommy and more. But Colleen is with us now. How are you doing, young lady?
Terry,
Well,
how are you feeling?
I'm all right, Giza. What you saying? What you saying, bruv?
I'm feeling very well. I mean, we said that this would be a circus, and that it did not fail to deliver. It was a circus. I don't even know where to begin, Terry. I literally don't know where to begin. It was an absolute clown jeans everywhere for Arsenal, United. I'm very happy Arsenal were the fortunate one, but to be honest, on another day, it could have been 3-1 United, if we're being honest. Ramsdale, I was getting pelters because I said he's too arrogant. That we saw the worst and best of him. In the first half, I don't know what he was playing at. I genuinely don't know. Like Kesh said, like bozo jeans everywhere. And I just think we were fortunate enough to come out and actually win the game. But I think it's difficult for United, to be honest with you, considering you've got a lot of players who are starting, leaving at the end of the season. And with everything that's going on, it is difficult. But, you know, Arsenal can only score 1 goal in 3. Then we score 7 in the last 2. I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, and do you know what it is? One of them things, Cole. Like, as a United fan, if I say that like 2 or 3 of the goals you've scored have been because of terrible mistakes from your opponents, Gooners will say you're just being salty. But I know proper Gooners in their heart of hearts will say that's true. And equally, you've conceded some sloppy goals and sloppy opportunities, which is why the top 4 race, you know, isn't over. You know, this isn't you haven't kind of reached the end goal in terms of your development. But you're right. Today was calamitous at times for both teams. It was open. It was the mid-off that we exactly said it would be. Both teams lacking in certain areas, but there's just more belief in the Arsenal team. There's more togetherness. There's more fight, in my opinion. And I really feel like that's what got you through. If we'd have gone 3-1 up with 20 minutes to go, I wouldn't be surprised if we collapsed and threw it away, where I feel like Arsenal were a little bit more resolute and a little bit more together than Manchester United are. In terms of the top 4 race, how are you feeling about it now?
I mean, honestly, it's such a roller coaster, because if we lose our next game, we're going to be back where we was again before, provided Tottenham win today. I just don't think we can count anyone out, because, like I said, we scored 1 goal in 3, and then we scored 7 in 2 against Chelsea and United. Okay, granted, it was the mid-off between United and Arsenal, but, you know, I think it was plain to see the quality or lack thereof in the squad. They've done amazing so far considering the squad to get to where they are. But, you know, I think it's honestly going to come down to the last game of the season, potentially a North London derby. I know Ralph Rangnick's come out and said top 4's done, and so is Rio. I think that game was a perfect example of United, Arsenal, Tottenham, all clowns, all bozos. That's why it's going to go down to the last game of the season. Like, I know you probably don't believe it, especially after this game, but I'm counting no one out. I obviously want Arsenal to get into the top 4.
And I understand the humbleness there. I do. I think as a United fan, I felt it's been over for a number of weeks. There's just crazy this week. I watched Flex and Robbie's preview. Obviously, we did the 12th man, and Jess and I did Straight Facts, and I've watched a number of previews. And a lot of United fans that I know are true Reds, who are not just saying things to the cameras. Well, like, we have no belief we can win this game. Like, for Arsenal not to beat us will be poor from your point of view. We're all getting kind of called out as like overplaying it and playing it down. And I'm just saying this, and I've said it before. I swear it on my children. I have zero belief in this Man United team. I've never gone into a game in my life against Arsenal without a quantum of hope that we could do it. And I just have that's how bad it is. I'm not even capping. I just look at us every time and think, no way, no way, no way. Like, if we're up against a Norwich or an Everton or a Burnley, maybe we'll win. But we've got Chelsea next. They'll beat us. They've got Palace last. Look, we're going to lose at least 2 more games this season. It's going to be painful. But Cole, I appreciate you coming on, having your say as ever. I'm sure we'll see you very, very soon back here at Unit 7. Take care. We'll speak soon.
Take care.
you know what's sad
Cheers.
and how I know it's over, and like I appreciate Colin being, you know, humble there. I have a couple Liverpool friends.
One sitting over there.
One sitting over there. And part
Didn't want to let him on camera because it's a Scouse free zone today. Scouse free zone.
One of them hit me up.
Plus, he's got a top knot, so it's done.
One of them hit me up on Facebook, was like 4-0, and then he's like, you know, but that's all I'm gonna say to you because it's just sad now. I show up at my boy's house, who's sitting over there, and instead of letting me have it about how bad United are, he's like, I'm gonna let you take a nap. Then I'm going to beat you in FIFA with Liverpool. And still to this point, he hasn't really made fun of me because it's not fun for him, because there's no challenge. We're that bad that Liverpool fans aren't even like.
It's like taking candy from a baby. No, I hear you completely. I really do. Pav's on the show with us now. What are you saying, Pav?
Mate, I don't know what the hell's going on. Like this whole, like Arsenal fans praising their team. You're playing Man United. We've literally been bodied by relegation teams. So don't come out here and act like you're playing like this fantastic football when we're literally getting bodied by everyone. We could get bodied by League One and League Two teams. So calm down. Like the defending that I saw today, what's his name? Tellez, mate, just get in the bin. Piss off in the summer. I've had enough of you. Like you lost your status as Mr. Whippy. You're shit. Bruno putting in another stinker. Like, what are we doing with this club? Like, we've literally bringing kids with us on the bench. Like, what are we doing? Running daddy daycare? Like, we're not even bringing them on. Like, what's the point? Like, why are we bringing on Lingard? Why are we bringing on Matt? The man looks like he's running on prosthetic legs. He's done out here. Get him out. Get these players out. And now you've got Paul Scholes exposing Lingard because Lingard's been filling in the information of what's going on in the dressing room.
That was him.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
Good.
Get these players out of this club as soon as possible. I've had enough, and I'm not sitting there being told by people over social media, oh, if Ten Hag plays these players, back them. Fuck off. These players are fucking shit.
Jesus.
Like, I'm not backing players next season. I don't care if Ten Hag plays them. They're fucking shit. All of them. Like, there's a few players who can stay. The rest of you can do one. I've had enough. And like, literally, we could end up finishing on a minus goal difference. Do you lot remember the last time we even finished on a minus goal difference after a season? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
with that crap.
Yeah. Mate, listen, I hear you. And as I said earlier on in the stream, we've lost today a 41-year-old record, 4 away defeats on the bounce. You got to remember that Fergie's first 4 to 5 years at Man United were not good. They were not good as he was rebuilding and going through things. But this record surpasses Fergie. This goes into the Ron Atkinson era. We haven't lost 4 away games on the bounce in over 40 years. There are like grandparents out there that are wrinkly with blue rinses that were in their prime, you know, at the Hippodrome, giving it the big one the last time Man United lost 4 away games on the bounce. It's horrendous, which is why when I turn around and say to people, losing to us right now is embarrassing for you. Nah, you're playing it down. You're a pretty good team. Fuck off. We're all full. Man United are absolute garbage right now. Paul Scholes' comment actually was, Paul Scholes says, I had a quick chat with Jesse Lingard the other day. I'm sure he won't mind me saying the dressing room is just a disaster. And this is the point. Like, it is a disaster. And this is what I've been saying to Man United fans for a long time. And I'm sorry to get angry again, but I can't help myself. This is not about ability. This is not about coaching. This is not about technique. This is not about Bruno or Maguire or Varane. This is about a fractured dressing room that has been created because of a series of bad decisions, the butterfly effect of bad decisions, right from having one of the worst training facilities in the country, leaking roofs, owners taking money out the clubs, backing the wrong managers at the wrong time, not backing managers at the right time, signing the wrong people, not allowing players to leave when they want to go. Mm-hmm. Like, this is the crazy thing. We as fans, don't let him go, let him rot in the stands. So you have to let people leave when they don't want to be there because they become despondent. Dean Henderson, as an example, Lingard, Pogba, all these guys wanted to go 2, 3, 4 years ago, and we forced them to stay in some weird approach to try and look powerful. All we've done is create a cocktail of shit, piss, and fucking Bo. That's the three worst things I can think of at the top of my head. It's just shit. I'm annoyed. You've triggered me, Pav. You've triggered me.
Mate, there's nothing like positive to talk about the club, honestly. Like, we're that bad. Like, I don't understand. There's players who are leaving, so just play some of the kids, give them some of the experience. Like, I'm sure they're hungry. Like, I saw McTominay today come back from an injury. He's the only one who got stuck in. He literally was taking on 3 players in Arsenal's box, put Gabriel on his ass. Like, what? Like, that's the sort of stuff I need to see. Like, these youngsters need to be playing for the last couple of games. We've done it against Wolves on the last day of the season last season, and they put up a fight and won. So what's the issue with playing some of these youngsters?
Pav,
Like, I don't know what's going on. But just before I go, hey Cam, like, Man United is going to give you any enjoyment while you're here in the UK. So I hope Terry shows you a good time somewhere, man.
Oh, we're having a good time.
We're having a good time now. We're having a good time now. But Pav, I agree with
Mate, you're not going to get any enjoyment from United, man. Like, it's a bad
There's
time
only
for
one
the
thing I
UK,
disagree
bro.
with what you said, and it's you're not going to back who Eric Ten Hag plays. And I'm like, at the end of the day, Eric Ten Hag is going to come in and he's got to make an assessment of these players, right? We've had a cycle of coaching of managers or whatever who come through. Somebody like Rashford's had 4 different philosophies or whatever he's got to follow. I think whoever Eric Ten Hag decides to play, we have to back, because if we're backing the manager, if we're saying this is the guy we all believed we wanted, we have to assume that his judgment, or at least what he's trying to do to assess the players, is the right thing. Right. So I get it. Right now, there's shit. I understand. But you don't know what might happen with the right coach and the right person coming into that dressing room. That's a disaster, apparently, right now, who could right the ship, who could bring in. You know what I mean? So I don't agree with that part, but everything else you said.
I hear that. Pav, legend for calling in, mate. Appreciate it.
In a bit, man.
Top man. Thank you. Gunnar Souls to come next, then Mo, and then we're going to go to some of the other callers as well. Gunnar Souls, congratulations. Don't smile, though, as I throw you off. I'm only joking.
Now, do you know what? I'll be honest. I don't think we played well. We were very shaky. There was a moments where I was like, we need to get control of the game, which is something we've lost since Partey. And in terms of Ramsdale, I mean, since the Manchester City game, he just hasn't seemed, he seemed a shadow of himself, really. I don't even know if it's arrogance. I don't know if it's just a lack of form or what it is, or maybe he's overachieved at the beginning of the season. But I think we can clearly see that there's improvements needed. As soon as we lost Thomas Partey, I don't think we've controlled the game. Even in the Chelsea game, we were a little bit shaky. Our passages of play weren't the same as what we've seen. But ultimately, these shithouse wins, you need to get them sometimes. You need those lucky wins. And that's exactly what happened today. The luck was on our side. We took our chances, which is surprising because we never do. Yeah.
I don't know if you were lucky as much as you were still. At the end of the day, you were still better than us. We weren't good.
I wouldn't say we were better. That's the thing.
Cash had brought this up during the game about Ramsdale, and he's like, his hip injury, you don't come back from a hip injury, okay, and in this short amount of time, to give him a little bit of slack, because I think he did save you on that Delos stop. I think that's the big thing with him. I think he's actually still hurt, and he's just trying, he's just doing what he can. And I'm not trying to big up Arsenal in any way, shape, or form. I just actually think he's legitimately hurt, and he's out there giving it his best, because he did make some, he gave the ball away.
He gave the ball away. Right? Listen,
even that in the second half against Dano, the low shot that he had that he pushed away.
Yeah. If you watch Ramsdale before that Liverpool injuries, I don't think distribution was ever in question. It's more to do with his shot stopping, but at the moment, what you're seeing is none of his passes is actually going where he wants it to go. And let me tell you, from a person that's played football, a hip injury, you do not come back in such quick fashion. You don't. I've got fans saying, we should actually sub Leno in. Leno should be playing for the rest of the season until Ramsdale's fit, because he's not fit. You can tell. And obviously, that's not giving me an excuse, but it is what it is. And I understand why the managers kept him in, because, you're open to play a player back into form. Hopefully he gets over his injury going into the last 5-6 games, whatever we got. And that's the reality of Arsenal right now.
Yeah, and when you say you got lucky, so it's did you though? Or did we just do what we do and bottle it? Because realistically, it's twofold. Yes, I will say, and I have no problem. I know Terry will never talk about it, but I was watching some of those calls, and the one penalty that should have been, and I don't give a shit what anybody says. Like, if you're pulling on somebody's shoulder and you tug them down on any other part of the pitch, it's called. And because in the box, it's a little bit later.
No, that's why I say there's a bit of luck, because any other day, one of either that Tavares or that Cedric handball, on another day, another referee might have given that. We've seen, I think it was Tottenham, I can't remember who they played, but when Lucas Moura went on the floor and they gave that. So they do sometimes give him. That's why I do say there's an element of luck, but sometimes you need those wins, even though.
Souls, listen, I get the element of the luck. Luck is in the refereeing decisions generally today went in your favor. I mean, the handball that did lead to your penalty, it's one of those where it was so blatant with the way he leant over, it couldn't not be given. But that's just the nature of the beast. And it's why this season, when I've seen Gooners talk about conspiracy theories, I've laughed, because you win some and then you lose some. And for me, the Cedric one was actually, the more I watched the replays of it, it wasn't someone who fell and put their arm down and hit his arm. The way he was doing it, he kind of scooped the ball backwards out the way. That's why I felt like it should have been a handball. But look, it wasn't given. And at the end of the day, we had chances after that to capitalize, chances after that to equalize and get ourselves back into this game, and we didn't take them. And equally, Dalot's chance was a great save from your goalkeeper. That isn't so much luck, it always depends on what side of the fence you sit on. And you guys look at it this way: you were brilliant against City and didn't win. So you will then have some results where you're not very good, and you'll get the points. But listen, the top four race now for me is between Tottenham and Arsenal. It's all to play for you all. Gunnar Souls, thanks for coming on, mate, and having your say. Always appreciate it, brother. Thank you for waiting. Really, really appreciate it. Top man. Mo to come in a moment, but young Tommy's on with us now. What are you saying, young boy?
We didn't play well today. We got away with it. I'm happy with the 3 points, but if Bruno scored that penalty, it would have been a different game. It would have been 2-2. Me and my dad, I was getting a bit nervous. I'm thinking, oh, great. And good 3 points, but the performance wasn't really good. Cedric, sloppy for me a bit. Tavares, even though he scored sloppy. Good goal by Xhaka, but you guys had us on ropes. You guys hit us in the counter. We were sloppy and all that. And you know what? Yeah, like I said, you lot could have beaten us as well. Because you had us on ropes. I'm thinking, and you gave the ball away a few times as well. But it was just fortunate to beat you. But I'm not happy with the performance, Tel.
I can understand you not being happy with the. Do you know what I would say about this time of the season, though? That forget the performance and think about the results. This is the results end of the business. Liverpool and City won't care whether they're good, bad, or indifferent. They just want to win games. And I would say that you were better against Southampton than you were against United and Chelsea, actually, in terms of overall play. But you won those other two games. It's just the way that it is, and you did what you had to do. Are you confident? Of course you are, mate. Listen, young Tommy, thank you for waiting and having your say.
What did you say again?
Are you confident about Tottenham? Are you confident of making top four against Tottenham?
Hopefully, because we still have to play West Ham away, which is tough because they're a good side and they're still in this top four race as well. We've got Leeds at home. Leeds are playing well under Jesse Marsch, tough. The North London derby, I'll take a draw against them in the derby because we don't really do well at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I'll take a draw. Newcastle away. Newcastle are playing well under Eddie Howe. That's tough. Everton at home. They're fighting for relegation. They're going to want to take some points with the ball, but we'll see. I'm just taking it game by game, but we'll see what happens. So wish everybody the best, and hopefully we can get it. Hopefully.
Cheers, young Tommy. Always a pleasure to speak, young man. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Mo's with us now. Neutral on the show. What are you saying, brother?
I have a couple of points I want to talk about. Number one is Arsenal fans in the beginning of the season and in the middle of the season, everybody said that they want Arteta out. But watching this game today, you can see the style of Arsenal. Going offensively, you can tell what is going to happen. Arsenal are trying to play between the lines. They're trying to build from the back. They're trying to penetrate from the sides when the ball gets to the final third, and that's credit to the manager. And as I said it before, Arteta being a Pep student, it's a style that Arsenal have been trying to build. He has been trying to do this for now 2.5 years, but he doesn't have the good players to do it everywhere. He has some good players like Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, even Xhaka in the middle, but the fullbacks are not great. So maybe when this guy gets better players, especially in some positions, we will see the Arsenal that he was talking about from the beginning of his tenure. For Man United today, I didn't see any style, but I can't blame Ranić for this because he is not the manager that he's going to be here next season. So, but we saw the second half, in the beginning of the second half, that the Manchester United players, they had some fire in them and they created some chances, and they were, to be honest, it was fair only for them to draw the game at 2-2 with some chances. They hit the crossbar, they hit the post. So this is the Man United player that every Man United fan wanted. And that's, again, credit to the psychologist or the manager at halftime. The talk was good, but then everyone just got deflated after the third goal. So the difference with the two teams is that there is a team that has a way of how they want to play, and there is another team that has no structure, as you guys said, but also it's not only off the pitch. On the pitch, there is no plan. I watch Man United every game, and I don't know what is going to happen. You don't know if they're going to sit back, if they're going to press, if they're going to play from the sides, if they're going to play from the middle. But watching a team like Arsenal, you know what you expect. Maybe the quality is not there. It's the same as Leeds. If you watch Leeds under Bielsa, you know what you expect. Maybe they don't have the same quality as City or Liverpool or even Chelsea or even lower than this. But I'm not sure if when Ten Hag comes in, I hope that we see a certain style, no matter who plays on the field. I think we will see a Man United style. The third point and the last point, all the calls that everybody's talking about, the referee's calls, are subjective to a referee's opinion. Like, talks with the VAR, this penalty in, this penalty out. The one call that not everybody's talking about is the offside. There is no subjective here. That offside in Nketiah, they talked about it here in America and NBC with Robbie Moss and everybody. He was on the line of sight of De Gea. You draw an angle, a triangle from the ball to De Gea with an angle a little bit, and Nketiah is on the line. That should have been called offside. They deemed this here in the US a very, very poor decision. All the pundits here said this was very, very poor. And this is something that it's very strange that they didn't called off, or it wasn't checked enough, because this call has been called in the Italian league in the Milan and the Inter game. And it was clear, if he's on the line of sight, it doesn't matter if there is a player, because they said Lindelof was in front of him. It doesn't matter. By the law, this goal should have been offside. But every other call is subjective. And as you said, some days they would have been given these penalties, but some days were not. But this offside call is not subjective to anybody's belief or anybody's opinion.
Do you know what's interesting about that offside call? I've seen some of them given, and then I've seen others that have not been, and it's a weird one. Like, yeah, by the letter of the law, it does appear to be offside. A few people have sent me tweets with similar things saying that, show me the line, they're not being the actual lines because they haven't showed them, but he's offside, he's in the line of sight. You can clearly see De Gea having to arch himself around to see what he's doing. But this is the problem with Manchester United. I want us to be at a point where we're not. If we're winning the majority of our games without having to rely on referees, and then you have a one-off game like today where with a better side and you get 2 or 3 bad decisions, then maybe I'll go back to being a normal football fan where I can be angry at refs. My issue is we still had enough open opportunities to win today's game. And equally, 2 of our goals were so poor defensively that I'm almost at a point where I'm like, we deserve the ref to mess up as well. Do you get where I'm coming from? I just feel like my club is so bad. We don't deserve the rub of the green. We don't even deserve the luck that may come our way. But
who's at fault here in the beginning of the game today? How do you start the game? Who's at fault? And I want your opinion and everybody's opinion. Who's at fault when a team comes to the field unprepared? Who's at fault here? 2 mistakes. Alex Telles. Okay, Dalot did not track Tavares on the goal.
I don't think we're unprepared. I don't think we're unprepared. I don't think this team believes in themselves. Yeah. This is about belief. This is about thinking you can do it. And sometimes sports people, whether they're tennis players, football players, boxers, whatever it is, you just lose that belief that you can get over the line, that you can get things done. And I always, if we're talking Man United with Fergie as the manager, there was always a belief we could come back. I've never went into a single match in my lifetime of watching United as a from my kind of early teens into being an adult, because I remember all those games, thinking we won't get anything. I can't see us winning. I'm at a point now with Man United where we can be at home against Everton, at home against Norwich, and I do not feel confident we're going to get the win. So I don't think it matters. It's about belief. And I listened to, I know his name's only Dominic Solanke, so people may not take it too seriously, but I watched an interview he did the other day where he said that in his belief and in the dressing rooms that he's been in, a player's confidence is every bit as important as their ability. And I think there are a lot of players out there that we see as youngsters. We go, he's techie, he's got great ability, but they just may not have the self-confidence and beliefs to kind of push themselves to that next level. And that for me is what I think it is. These players don't believe in themselves.
For me, like when I saw that goal, who's at fault? All three defenders to not be prepared. I think if you're sitting there, if you're Ralph, you're like, first off, Varane, how do you miss that ball? How do you misjudge it? Second off, tell us, how do you not then clear it? Because your orthopedic hips can't move. Cool. Third off, Delo, how are you so turned off that you're not tracking the runner? That just in case all of these things happen, this calamitous issue. So all three of those defenders, to answer you like that, those are on the players. I don't think that's on Ralph. I think that's on the players. That's on a set of players who don't believe in themselves, like Terry said, because they don't have the confidence. They're not going in there. They're not thinking. I thought every time we got attacked, especially Tellus today, that the players felt that a goal could happen. Like the way we were moving, the way we were frantic sometimes, the way you saw the players act, that wasn't confidence. When they were in our attacking third, our players shrunk, which is never a good sign. And I don't think that's on the manager. I think it's on the players and the confidence in the club, and we need somebody to change that. And that's to answer your question. Like, that's how I see it. I'm not putting it on Ralph, because realistically, like, how can you blame a manager for three defenders making terrible mistakes, all different? Every one of them
three of them were actually basic. One of ball watching, the second one is just not closing a player enough, and the third one is like being flat-footed when the ball is being crossed, like Varane. To be honest, it's exactly what you just said. One last thing, guys. I think Ten Hag is gonna come in. He's gonna enhance this squad, to be honest, in terms of like playing and the way you go forward and the way you defend and the structure of the team. And I just hope so, because I grew up in the 90s and the 2000s. One more thing, and Man United was creating something big in the English football, and we need all the teams to be good again, to have the Premier League back at not just one dominant two dominant teams, and then
you know what, Mo,
go back to that.
I agree, and do you know what I would say is this: effort's a hard thing to turn on and off. So I feel like with a large proportion of this dressing room is down tools for certain games. I think it's been done to preserve themselves. So, for instance, when Ten Hag or the new manager comes in, I'll up my game and I'll prove that it wasn't me, it was the old regime. It's a very commonly used tactics by football players in the game, so that they don't burden the stress. The problem you have when you kind of down tools and you're playing half-heartedly, to turn it then suddenly on for the next game is so hard. It's a bit like coming home after a hard day at work, having a beer and sitting on the couch for an hour, and then going, right, I'm going to get up and go to the gym now. You ain't doing it. You can't get back out your seat because you've relaxed now. You've had that beer. You're kind of chilling. I don't know what you're watching on TV, but you're like, that's how this Man United team are. We have down tools. We have not tried in so many games leading up to this. To try and turn it on, it's almost impossible to get the engine going. And look, I hope Ten Hag can come in and get these players playing. I want that for myself as a Manchester United fan that loves my football club wholeheartedly. And look, I want us to run the club well. I want us to go back to a point where I feel proud and like you're representing me as a person in terms of you're honoring the history and heritage of this club. I want to go back to supporting my club fully. I want to buy the shirts. I want to buy my kids. I want to kit all my kids out at Christmas in the kits. I want to do all this, but I'm not going to do it until I see the club being run right and then the players giving their all on that football pitch. I'm not talking about winning titles. I'm not talking about winning the Champions League. I'm talking about doing the basics right for a prolonged period of time before I even think about for a single second getting fully supporting this club from a financial standpoint. Again, I have to. But Mo, great call, my friend. Thanks for coming on and having your say. Top man. Thank you. Robbie Singh, what you saying, mate?
Hey, Terry. Firstly, just came on. Thought you deserve it because thanks for all the help that you have given me. We've hardly met. So to all the viewers, I've hardly met. I don't think I've met Terry other than here on his channel, but asked him for a genuine help, and I think it took him less than a few seconds to reply to me and get back to me, and that was really helpful. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. You're a great man. Secondly,
no problem.
Nah, he's okay.
I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm all right.
How's that hairline going, by the way, Terry? Because I think Sancho is still on the.
I don't
form,
want to
isn't he?
reveal, but it's like the boy. It's getting there. It's getting there. It's getting
Okay,
there.
that's good.
I'm gonna
That's good.
reveal
Keep it
in
going.
in 2 or 3 more months when I pull the hat off. People are going to be honestly, girls, get the buckets out. It's going to be good. Trust me.
Just remember that hairline is the thing that's giving Sancho the power right now to perform. He's literally, I think him with David and Ronaldo, I think they're literally the only thing that's actually giving me any sort of hope to watch United play or any sort of energy to watch United play. We've lost to Liverpool, that was shambolic. We're losing to Arsenal, who were not even that great today, to be honest. We literally handed them the game. Yes, you could say the ref calls and all that, but then again, if you're not taking your chances, then you can't blame the ref, right? I honestly hope we get. I think if Wolves win their next 2 games, they go above us, and then we go 8th. So I actually wish that we are out of Europe, and Eric gets that clean slate to knock whichever player that doesn't want to stay here, they can leave. Whoever wants to stay, Eric gets a clean slate, gets the players he wants, and hopefully does something. But yeah, it's depressing, isn't it? As United fans right now.
Very.
Plus you have to work. Plus you have to work with Igal as well. I just saw his tweet.
Igal's right. He's a good guy.
No. He's a good man. It's just the banter, isn't it? That the last thing, like Cam was saying, I think Cam mentioned it. It's come to a point where I think even our fans don't want to make fun of us anymore. That's how shit we have become.
Yeah, that's what I'm most embarrassed by, the fact that people don't want to laugh at us anymore. Not everybody does. But Robbie, I appreciate you and all the support you give the channel. You're an absolute legend, top man. Thank you very much indeed. Chike, what are you saying, bro?
Morning, guys.
What are you fucking laying down for?
7 a.m. kickoff.
Sit up. Stop laying down. Stop being lazy. Sit up. He's sitting up, isn't he? What you saying, brother? What you saying?
Remind me to never do a 7 a.m. kickoff, guys.
Move to England. You won't have to.
Yeah.
Well, that was a comment. Anyway, that was a comedy of error. Jesus Christ. I mean, that was just you mean years ago that used to be a battle for the title. Now it's just a battle of who is the best worst team in the league.
Very true, mate. Listen, I don't overtly disagree with that, mate. A mid-off, mate. It was a micro penis competition today. I agree.
Also, Nuno Tavares, he is literally like a Shakespeare play gone wrong. He'll score 1 goal, he'll give a penalty away. My God Almighty! And then Bruno Fernandes.
Shakespeare on the terrace, you know.
That's your boy.
Wait, what?
I'm pretty sure Cash was calling for Tomiyasu after the first 15.
Romeo, oh Romeo, where art thou, Romeo, and all that. That's some British heritage for you right here, mate.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, my God Almighty!
In Canada?
Have you heard of Shakespeare?
Of course they are.
Really? I just thought you guys like tap trees for maple syrup and shit.
I guarantee they fall asleep.
You know what? Hold on. If we're gonna talk about stereotypes, I got into the airport, and the first thing that happened was a British man losing his shit, swearing at everybody, being like, "If y'all don't this fucking door down," and I was just like, "All right, I've landed." Perfect.
I like him. Where's he at? A geezer. He's a geezer. That's what he is. He's a geezer. Chike, who's making the top 4? Arsenal or Tottenham?
Spurs.
Spurs. You're still backing Spurs on that. You're still backing Spurs. I hear you. Chike, listen, I appreciate all your support you give the channel, mate.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Terry.
Thank you very much. And I'm really sorry that everyone else is backstage. I haven't got any more time left on the show today because I've got to get ready for the other show today. I'm sorry, Shrey, Jasper, Mo, Daniel, and everybody else that's waiting. I'm very, very sorry. We'll take more calls later today and over the course of the weekend. Remember, next week, Top 6 show back on Monday. We had a kind of week off from doing it. That's going to be hosted by KJ this week. Straight Facts is going to be back. There's no doubt about that. I've got to take this call. Hello, Harry.
Hello, mate.
Hello, geezer.
There you are.
Can you hear me all right? Is that all right?
I can hear you. Fucking all season you ain't been here. All season.
Wait.
You beat us and
You
you
know
turn
what?
up, mate.
You know what? I saw him at the fucking Chelsea celebration where Saka came to the fucking after the penalty.
Yeah. Oh, mate. What an evening that was. No, I actually just come on here just to have a little listen and show some love. I thought United were pretty decent today, to be honest. So I'm not going to gloat too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm certainly not coming on here to gloat because we've won. I thought it was quite a tight game, but I think now it's proven that when there is a game which is so tight based on fine margins, you can't make any dramatic conclusions. So I don't think we should alter us to suddenly being favourites to top 4. It's still going to be really, really tight. On any other day today, we lose. Like, we lose. If that penalty to Elanga is given in the first half, if Fernandes scores that second half, of course there are ifs and buts that work both ways. But on any other day, today's a home defeat, and we're leaving the Emirates really, really gutted. But things went our way, and let's be honest about that. Things really did go our way today, and we were able to survive that scare. And then Xhaka pulls out a worldie, and you almost forget about what happened before. But I thought we were off the pace today at times, so we're a little bit lucky. And I think it shows that whilst we're progressing well and things are going okay, we're still really vulnerable because we're a young team. And that top 4 is going to be really, really tough because we go away to West Ham, which is going to be a real, real tough game, in my opinion. I know they've got Europa League, but the pressure is so strong, right? You can feed it in the stadium, you can feed it within the players, and that sort of stuff can consume you. So, yeah, I mean, we're up there, we're there or thereabouts, but it's going to be tough if we can get it over the line.
Listen, I agree with a lot of what you said there, mate, in terms of what the game could have gone in said directions, etc., etc. It's listen, I'll be honest with you, I'm just in a lot of pain. I'm in a lot of pain right now. It's hard to keep watching this, and I'm just desperate for the season to be over as a Man United fan, to be honest, because it's painful to kind of watch. It really is. But look, I slightly disagree in the sense of not disagree. Look, I still think you deserved it today. I'm a firm believer in taking your chances. I remember saying this a lot under LVG. We often have a lot of games where we were the better team, we had the better approach play, move the ball better, but we weren't finishing our dinner and we were getting caught. And that for me is where it matters most. Leicester City won a league title doing that, if that makes sense. Spurs under Antonio Conte, Chelsea under Conte, one won a league title, the other might make the top 4 off of not generally being the best team in the game. They just, when they go forward, they're clinical. And that's what we need to get back to being, because with the players we've got, like you'd have thought Bruno's historically is a clinical player, 4 years running. Like the guy has been absolute dynamite. Ronaldo, I know he did score today. He himself. People like Rashford were scoring goals on a regular basis. Gone. I just need us to try and get that back, and I'm hopeful Ten Hag can do it. But we'll see, mate. We'll see. Harry, listen, brother, I really appreciate you coming on the show and having you on. It's good to see you again. It's good to see you.
Yeah, you too, mate. You too. Congratulations on all your success as well. The show looks great. You guys all look very handsome behind these great cameras. Congratulations.
We do. Honestly, the camera does not lie.
Great.
It doesn't lie.
I gotta say,
By the way, when's the hat coming off? When's the hat coming
about
off?
3 months. The hat is coming off. The hat's coming off. Also, we're gonna do a show soon, by the way, with Harry's other half. Is gonna be supplying us. I've got the message because I'm so bad. Guess why KJ is joining the company? Because KJ is going to handle all the things that I forget to do. But I want to say it's tequila, right?
It's spiced rum, but like
spiced rum. Spiced rum. Sorry, chili rum. They're going to send us inside. We're going to do a show. We're going to do the first ever episode of the football mashup, because we're going to get mashed up whilst we're streaming on air live.
I mean, we got close before.
I'm definitely here for that.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Harry, you're a legend, mate. Top man for coming on and having your say. Speak soon, brother. Thank you. And everybody else that's tuned in, thank you very much. Please hit the like button before you leave. Cam, it's been a pleasure doing the show with you in the studio. Kesh, good to see you again, my guy. Until next time, people, take care. Good.